So, welcome to a very special multidimensional healing meeting post election 2024, where original intent was to work on negative body image and loving yourself in preparation for a stress eating series. And post election, all this stress came into our environment where we have two different opposing viewpoints clashing. And so this negative body image and loving yourself is more important than ever, but took a broader reference, took a broader approach, a broader meeting. So we'll see where this takes us today. Our intention, of course, is to address negative body image and coming back into a place where you love yourself more in whatever way that means to you. That could mean finding calm in the storm. That could mean being really active in support of injustice or speaking out or finding your own intuitive gifts in whatever way loving yourself means, and everything in between. So we're going to lean back into Trinity, lean back into this space we've created. And first and foremost, what's coming forward is this enveloping love. So I want you to just feel it for a second. This enveloping love. We're starting with love. We're going to end with love. And in between, we're going to go into that negative image that we have of ourselves and maybe of humanity right now. Because negative body, the idea of body is both very, very personal, but it's also collective. We have a universal body of humanity that's quaking right now. It's very divided and very rumbling, as one wise person really explained it. So let's just lean back into the joy that surrounds us, into the love, into the support, because that's how we're going to get through what is being seen by all prognosticators, all philosophers, all oracles, all psychics, as a shift. And we've been talking about it for many, many months, that we're in a period of transformational shift. As transformational specialist, I know shift means chaos, that we break down the old so that the new can be reconstructed from a place that is more cooperative, more harmonious, more balanced. You can't do that. You can't create balance on top of a foundation that is fundamentally imbalanced. And at the root of that, which is what we've been working on for all this fall, is the imbalance between feminine and masculine. Feminine has been oppressed, masculine has turned toxic, and so we're working on both those issues. And what came forward as an adjunct to that is this way we see ourselves in our body and try to conform to this imbalance by addictive habits. Maybe it's drinking, for many it's stress eating, where we don't know what to do with ourselves, and so just to feel good we eat. The pandemic showed us that we had time. What are we going to do with this time? And what welled up is this underlying, unresolved, unhealed trauma within ourselves. And you can direct it to specific events in your life if you want, but there is an underlying trauma within karmic society that has never really been addressed and healed. We can look at genocide of American Indians, of slavery. We can look at how our country was colonized. We can go even farther back to the origins of societies that were relational and alive with balance, not only within humans, but within all of life, where everything, all creatures were related, like the shaman viewpoint of all my relations. They're talking about the soil, the wind, the waters, the creatures, the magic, dragons, fairies, sprites, elves, wizards, witches. We were all honored vibrationally for our contribution. Now that predates human history. You don't hear a lot written about it. In fact, it's been mythologized, symbolized, and really relegated to something that never really happened. Or it's just a fairy tale or a story we hear about. But when we go deep within the core of our being, That's what leads us to a spiritual path that says there's something more there. And if you go deep enough, you're going to find that equanimity, equilibrium. We're going to find that what we see in nature every single day is our core truth. Everything is interconnected. Everything seeks balance. So right now, with all the disruptions, that's what the earth is doing. It's trying to seek balance. It's very, very, very simple. So in addressing this negative body image and finding our way to loving ourselves, one aspect, just one aspect. So we want to set the stage of where we're working today, leaning back into the help, welcoming the millions of our ancestors, the tribes, the communities, our origins in cosmic history and frequential history that knew ourselves, our past lives, our future selves that know we are vibrationally interconnected. And on a quantum level, we're all one. So we're going to lean back into them and, of course, welcome them. Divine consciousness of the highest order, divine mothers, the master healers, the angels, and one among them has been the guide throughout multidimensional history, throughout my lifetime, actually. We're going to call in the angel Jophiel, and she's going to come into your system and really set a seed, first and foremost, about how to love yourself more, which is just going to grow throughout the rest of this healing. So I didn't know she was going to do this, but of course it makes sense. And the seed is really just a spark. Think of it like a flame, an ember that when you blow on it is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's a seed of how to find that love within yourself again through whatever is going on in your life, not just the negative body image, but the negativity around us. So what a gift from the angel Jophiel, starting right off. So she's coming into your system on the count of 3, 2, 1. I'm going to ask her to amplify herself, and as she does so, she's planting that seed. There you go. That spark. And in reality, to be very accurate with my language, she's not bringing in anything. The seed has already been there. It's already there. It already exists within you. It's just covered up by all this negativity, all this patriarchy, all this division that has been brewing, not just in our lifetimes, but for thousands of years, where war, where violence, where hatred has been the norm, where we killed each other over land, where we killed each other over race, where we killed each other over divine right to have land. And so the seed was covered over with all of that. And so she's blowing on it now. So she's just opening up access to the seed that already existed. But we say planting because she's planting the idea that it's already there. There we go. I'm going to give this a minute to just resonate within you like a beacon, a beacon of hope. If we do nothing else in this session, this alone is worth listening to. Yep. And so she says, all session long, this will grow. Angel Jophiel's archetype, her characteristic, is to illuminate the divine beauty within. She is the spark of creativity. She shows us where we're all interconnected in this space of creativity, because everything is about creating something new, and we're in the midst of releasing the old to do what? To create something new. And what she's saying is it's not really new. It's new to us because we've lived so many thousands of years without it. So it's a new idea to us, but it's not new within the realm of humanity. Because if we look at history, for the length of time humans have been on this planet, and this is a fact, this isn't anything I'm pulling out of the air, 99% of our ancestors lived in relationship to the world as an alive life force. Think about that. So we're returning home. And so she's lighting that flame, that lamp that says, here's the way. And yes, loving yourself has so many meanings, and we'll see where it leads us. But first and foremost, here we go. That just kind of landed. We're going to address one aspect that prevents us from loving ourselves more, a negative body image, which can come from any number of ways. So the intention to address a negative body image, to move into loving ourselves. Thank you, Indutrophiel. And to anchor that into our system, we're going to start with the sound of Om, which physicalizes the sound of the divine into your body. It massages the vagus nerve, the nervous system, while at the same time inviting in the divine through sound vibration. So on your end, if you have the capacity, please join in. We're going to take 3 breaths, and on the out breath, chant the sound of Om, letting it vibrate in, around, and through you. You ready? First breath in. Second breath in. And the third breath in. I don't know about you, but I felt that ember, like when you blow on an ember that is in a coal that is just about to spark into a flame. That, again, if you get nothing else from this session, that is a true gift we all just received here today. Like, it is the spark of hope, the spark of life force, the spark of vitality, the spark of love, but not the kind of love that we're used to as humans, because human love is conditional. It says, I love you if, or I love myself if. You know, in today's healing, I love myself if I have a fit body and I fit the norm of what society tells me is acceptable. But this spark of love is divine. It's unconditional. It's why we have pets, because they show us all the time what unconditional love is. It's why when we sit with nature, we see all around us the beauty and the awe that is in a sunset, a sunrise, birds singing, squirrels chirping. That's true beauty and love. So what a gift. Thank you, Indutrophiel. So we're going to start with a little bit of grounding. And in this grounding, it helps our body connect more to that universal nature that we all have when we come into that sense of universal love. So this loving yourself, like I thought, is not necessarily personal, although it definitely is about personally loving you. It's loving as a universal concept beyond the human condition. We'll figure out what that means as we go along. So breathing down. So the first thing I'm going to do is create, for some of you who have never really listened to this before and this has found your way to you, thank you, welcome. I'm going to open up your root chakra. Our grounding cords are calibrated to the period we came into the planet, which of course the planet's changed, we've changed, society has changed, the planets have changed. And so we're just going to update your grounding cord to be more dimensional. There you go. Which at the same time allows you to connect more deeper with the earth. Why? The earth is dimensional. She's a 10th dimensional being. Gaia is alive. She has a consciousness. She reverberates with aliveness. Look up Gaia principle. It's just a beautiful, it's what those 99% ancestors already knew. And so this, universal grounding cord actually opens up a channel to recognize your universal roots as one with nature. So it not just syncs up with the vibration of Earth, it syncs up with the luminosity of Earth that, again, hasn't been within our culture for thousands of years, but is arising right now and asking, hey, psst, where are you? We have been disconnected for thousands of years. Like this telephone line that used to work has been not only disconnected, it's severed. There isn't even any what is it called, fiber optics connecting us anymore, where we have to replace them all, or at least we find our way back to the original connections that are already there. There we go. There we go. Some of you had some blocks in your root chakra that we had to clear first. There we go. Now I'm sensing. So this is true dimensional healing. I know you're listening to this because I can sense it. I'm in this space with you, past, present, and future. So you who are listening in the future, I already know you're here because that's the nature of parallel universes, of time, reality. We're in this 0 point energy where all possibility, all potential exists. That's the sacred space we're meeting. That's why we have so much divine helpers. And that's where you are existing as a dimensional presence. And so I can sense into the future, those of you who are listening, no matter when you're listening to this, that your root chakra is blocked. Isn't that amazeballs? I constantly am amazed. So let's breathe down into this newly reorganized structure. There you go, all the way to the center of the earth. Through the layers of the home, the ground. Connect through the plasma, that molten core. There's the heart of Gaia. There's our crystalline mother. We're plugging into her like an umbilical cord, and she goes, welcome home. Welcome home. And right back, we start, begin, or strengthen that union that has been severed. This is like nature's fiber optic cable, but it's so much cooler and better because it's crystalline, it's luminescent, it is our guiding force. It was the guiding force of our ancestors. Here we go. So strengthening it for some of you, like creating an anchor that will never break. Beautiful. And so what we're going to do is breathe, allow, accept back in this luminescence into our organic system. This luminescence is more crystalline. It's of course going to go into your DNA, but it's also going to go into your organic form. It's going to go into your physicality, in your cells, in your atoms, into your quantum quarks, in the way your vibrational system works with your physical system. So it's a true transformative activation that will help reorganize your system to be more receptive to this luminosity, to the origins of who you are. So breathing it back in, it's going to go in slowly up to your feet. And this organizing principle is going to meet with that little spark of loving yourself. And loving yourself is really coming into union. Remember, I told you that loving yourself is very personal, but it's also very universal. Loving yourself means I love myself as a whole concept. Coming into your tops of your feet, your ankles. Ooh, this is moving in slowly. Maybe this is the whole point, that this is all we do. No, that we're going to tackle a negative body image. There we go. But we're laying the foundation of it. Coming into your calves and shins. Your knees. Ooh. Any of you have knee problems, this may be why. There we go. Your organic bodies didn't know how to flex with its ancient memory that it was so much more. So flexibility to remember, flexibility to live in this this inorganic way that was the antithesis of what it knew to be true. Coming into your thighs, your pelvic region, your genitals. Oh yeah, there we go. Ooh, there we go. There was some adjustment there, like think of like a creaky door opening that's been rusted shut. That's what your pelvis was doing. Beautiful. Up into your hips, lower back, your front organs, your lower intestines, kidneys, moving up into your midsection, following your spine all the way up. Your large intestine, really soaking those organs in its vibrational soup of remembrance. Moving from organic to more crystalline in the way your system is ready to receive. Coming into your sternum, following your spine, rib cage, up into your heart. For some of you, that spark of loving yourself is firmly situated in your third chakra because that's your aspect of control. But for others of you, it's in your heart. It's moving into your heart. Loving yourself as an act of control isn't really loving yourself. It's saying, I will receive you, love, in accordance to these conditions. Again, that's human love. So it's sitting there so that it can help break down your idea of what love means. So moving into your shoulder blades and shoulders and down each of your arms to your elbows. Forearms, hands, palms, fingertips. Back up into your upper chest, lighting a flame in your spiritual heart, your thymus. Resolving any stickiness there. Again, from lack of use, your thymus or your upper heart is how we connect to this divine universal principle of interconnectivity, that everything is one. Into your throat, following your neck. Your face, your skull, your hair. Into the brain, any aspects, areas of the brain. The eyes, how it internally sees, externally sees, your ears, your sinuses, the back of the brainstem, the frontal cortex, your pineal gland, your pituitary, and shooting out all the way up to the center of the universe, connecting to the heart of the universe, which is also our home. So we're connecting our two homes. We're cosmic beings. You hear this all the time, especially if you're on an awakening path. I'm a divine being in a human body. Great, wonderful, incredible principles. But you can't just get stuck there because you're also very human. I had a conversation with someone the other day who was just trying to treat me like I am this disconnected divine being through the concepts of nothingness, which completely disregards that you are very much a karmic human being living a divine life. The two are imbalanced. Do you see that? It fits in with our environment right now. We're disconnected, we're divided, not just masculine and feminine, but the masculine and feminine of how our spirituality is defined, what spirituality is, based on patriarchal norms. Say God is this. So that's breaking down too. So let's pull down that beautiful, universal light. It's clear light, it's very plasma, again, very crystalline. We're going to pull it into our brains, down through our neck, coming quickly into our hearts, following our spine. Third chakra, stomach, core, into the coccyx, tailbone, down our legs, knees, feet, to the very center of the earth. These two, heart of the universe, heart of earth, which we're both. This duality is one. But we don't know how to make it one. We have one or the other. We're very human, karmic, egoic. We're also divine, nothingness, void. We're this void. We don't know how they unite because we're still in the process of, very much in the process of duality. So universal grounding, which is something I also offer, unites the heart of your universal self with the heart of Gaia, your grounded, awakening, embodied human self. Why is this important in a session about negative body image? Because without that universal concept, your body gets stuck in the duality that says, all I've ever known and taught is my body needs to be this. So we're laying the foundation for that to shift from a root level. Okay, so we'll integrate that in a few moments, but right now we're going to tackle the idea of body image that your system has grown up with. There's a lot of probably females that are going to listen to this. Wonderful, welcome, thank you. And we know what that negative body image is and what we've been programmed and conditioned to align with. But the male body image too has this ideal, this manliness that it's supposed to live up to, and anything outside of that is seen as unacceptable, harmful, and that body image of how we feel about ourselves we internalize, and therefore don't really feel good about ourselves based on an external ideal. We see it in magazines that have been bombarding us from the moment marketing was a concept. This female body image that I don't even need to describe, this masculine body image. You've got the bikini girls and you've got the Marlboro man and everything in between. We don't see overweight people. We don't see, and of course, I'm not saying being fit isn't a good thing. This is not about that. So let's set that aside right now. This is about the concept of how we feel about ourselves when it's been presented. This is the only way, and we're not that way. So it's how you see your body, how you feel about it, your perception, which involves this mental image we have that we don't live up to and we can't live up to. It's the thoughts, it's the emotions you associate with your physical appearance. There we go. So setting the intention, that's where we're going to work. So much help here from the Divine Mother, so much help here from the Master Healers. Going into your emotional body, they're going everywhere you exist, where this pattern exists. This perception that you have flaws, that you're constantly comparing yourself to this unattainable physique, and how you think about it mentally, how you feel about it emotionally, how others have talked to you. I was a chubby child. I can't even tell you how many people, either indirectly or directly, have said, "Oh, you have such a pretty face," implying that maybe I could be more loved if my body reflected something different in their eyes. So the self-esteem, and then all the different mental disorders that spawns. This is about emotional eating, stress. When we face stress, we learn as a kid, food is comforting, and it applies to any addiction, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whether it's too much TV, whether it's sex, anything that is an extreme. But in this case, we're pointing at stress eating based on how you see yourself and this negative body image and the challenge that we face because we do not match with this created reality and this self-talk. We don't really share with others. This is a selfie society, right? This is a fake society where, and there's wonderful things. Again, I'm just talking very general. There's wonderful things about the internet. I wouldn't be able to connect to you if I didn't have it. But our Facebook pages, our Instagram pages, our TikTok pages, our other social media pages is like this permission to put yourself out on display, and many people do, as an ideal of what it should be. Can you imagine as a teen growing up with that? And then the instant feedback, the snark, comments. We thought we had it bad with just our peer group. But imagine kids today trying to fit into that ideal. So this negative body image is being addressed. And I'm talking, and Source is working. Again, who is Source? Combination of Shakti Shiva energy, combination of teams of divine mothers, of goddesses, representing the divine feminine, a team of divine masculine, including master healers, magicians, wizards of the highest order, combining to work in this space of grace on your perceived image you can't really ever live up to, and the challenges it's created. You can't affirm this away. You can't just say, look in a mirror and say, I like my body, when you have underlying beliefs that your body has absorbed, not just this lifetime, but for lifetimes. The Victorian era, that positioned women with these tiny waists, big breasts, or masculine men with muscles and strength. If you don't fit into that, you're not considered normal. That's a perception of how you look and how we judge people based on looks. It's devastating. And our body understands that without the mind innately. And it affects how we move through the space that we call life. How you stand in the world, how your limbs move, how we talk and think and evaluate our own physicality, and how we look at the estimation of our body size based on culturally driven beliefs about what that should be. Here we go. We're in that devastation right now. We're in that. Ooh. And the reason multidimensional healing works so effectively is that we're working with a collective consciousness. You sitting there right now, at everything you bring to the table, your past lives and ancestors, and everything that bring to the table about this specific issue. The consciousness, collective consciousness around us. Your future self and how you shift and change. Everything is here with us. Looking at it with a fine-tuned comb, with a laser pointer, this negative body image, and how it's impacting you, how it will impact you, even as you break down. This unhealed, unresolved, emotional positioning. It's a role we all play. Again, how we stand in the world, how we compare. In this lifetime starts at an early age. Again, as a little girl, you were compared in school, in all the different organizations, in your family, of course, how they talked to you, how they treated you based on your looks, based on maybe how your base is formed. And then when our bodies start to change, maybe we get comments, maybe we don't, and that dissatisfaction that continues to build and build and build. We don't have healthy image representation. It's changing, and that's because of you. That's because of this. This is demanded within marketing, that we have diversity, that we see all types. So it's starting to change. That's the rumbling. It's starting to break down, but that doesn't mean the damage isn't still there. And that's what we're pointing at. An inherent damage that says, God, I can never compare and compete with this societal cultural belief. And it's not just size and shape, it's gender. We know it's a patriarchal society, and that as a male, you get certain privileges that aren't afforded to females. With age, we know that the youth is treated differently than the elderly. With ability, we know that the disabled are treated differently than the able. With illness, we know that when you're sick, you get treated differently than if you're not. With skin color, well, we know that too, right? We know the mistreatment of anyone that has a different color skin. With modesty, as women, if you're showing your breasts or skin, how you're treated, right? What are the words that come up, that arise when you're seeing that? Different cultures glorify and honor the naked body. Victorian era, after that, is such a great service that we can't show our body. It means XYZ. Means you're slut, means you're whore, means you're wicked. With hair, how often do we see diverse hair honored? And if you have alopecia or any difference in the way your hair is, balding men, as a society, we just don't accept anything different than what we consider norm. And of course, with clothing. Our entire culture says, here, wear this, dress this way, to be accepted. So that's the negative body image, is all these ideas and values that you get mirrored back to you, that bounce back to you from your environment, your family, your peers, your education, your faith, tradition, whatever that maybe. It shapes the way you see yourself and contribute to negative body image. Jesus, by the way, wasn't white, blue-eyed. The culture of that day says he was dark-skinned and probably had completely different features, brown-eyed. But look at the way we treat dark-skinned, brown-eyed people, right? Jesus was an immigrant. Look at the way we vilify immigration right now, because it's a complex, it's an issue that was forced into our culture to divide us. Say, here's what you fear. These people who are different, they're associated with this crime, this violence. Fear them, fear them, fear them. Everyone in this country is an immigrant unless you're a Native American. Everyone. And look what we did to the Native Americans. Colonized them. So given the complexity of this body image, of all these different factors that contribute, on top of the pressure to conform, wow, it's imagine. It's really, really a wonder. That body image is problematic for so many people. There we go. And you heard me talking externally, but internally, from this space of grace, from this focal point in time. So much work was being done on what I talked about. As my voice was vibrating, it's where the energies were focusing. And we haven't even touched upon the health issues, the mental issues that a negative body image is associated with and related to. We're focusing on one this month: overeating, stress eating, but there's a whole host of others. There's eating disorders, mood disorders, body dysmorphia. People have that where they just can't stand themselves in physical form. But basically, there's just lower self-esteem. We have relationship problems when we don't think we match up to what a partner really wants in us or a family member sees in us based on how we look. Self-harm tendencies. You could go on and on. But there's a basic generalized anxiety that is brewing for how we look. We're getting into more of that psychological anxiety now. There we go. So we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about it to get it into our awareness, right? How do you know if you have a negative body image? Let's see if any of these things hit home. Again, as I talk about it, they'll be working on it. Do you think that your feelings about your body is interfered with how you relate to your relationships, to your family, your partners, your work, your activities? Do you take any extreme measures to not see yourself, your body? Do you not have mirrors? Do you not look in the mirror? Do you avoid windows, pictures? Or conversely, are you constantly checking on your weight, looking in the mirror, measuring your body parts, seeing if they fit to standard, pinching your fat, looking in the mirror for faults over and over again? Both can be true. As women, do you wear too much makeup because you think that's what you need to do to be out in public, like your natural self isn't good enough? The queen of makeup in 80s and 90s, Pamela Sue Anderson, has just recently started going out without makeup. Completely liberating. And she's beautiful, but if you compare her to the old Pamela Sue Anderson, they're two distinctly different people. And she's like, I'm tired of wearing that mask. That's exactly what she said. I'm tired of wearing that mask. That's what makeup is. As a female, do you wear hats, baggy clothing to hide your body? Do you pluck away, shave, wax, laser away any hair excessively because that's not the ideal? Do you talk about yourself negatively? Oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm ugly. Do you intentionally damage your skin? Do you cut? Do you pick? You know, as a youngster, I was constantly picking at my nails. But mostly, what is your emotions? What are emotions arising when we talk about your body? What's going on? Our body is constantly talking back to us with aches, with pains, with illness. Vibrationally, Ayurvedic medicine, ancient medicines, ancient traditions look upon body illness as a simple imbalance. So our body is talking to us when we experience pain, when we experience dis-ease, when we experience illness of any kind. Your body is talking to you. So I'm going to put in all kinds of structures there. And these structures will continue to break down the framework of negative body image. Remember all those different aspects we talked about earlier? Each one is like a sword that's created a wound within you and support it over the years, how you feel about yourself, and how our ancestors, our past lives. There we go. Beautiful. Truly an amazing transformative process here, because we have a team of helpers, past selves, our future selves, our divine relatives. We see the external supernatural is outside of us. Trinity Essence, which is what we're working with here, is truly an evolutionary process that reintroduces you to the divine within you, that says it's not separate from you. It is who you are. When we intend Trinity, we lean back into it. We lean back into the part of itself that innately knows we are that which we are intending. It's a concept that just takes time because, again, we're programmed to say, well, that's not possible. I'm going to go back to the law of attraction. I am what I think. Yeah, but you are so much more. And Trinity says you are the divine, you are the magic. Beautiful. So let's come back into that loving, universal loving awareness. And we're going to end with this. We're going to bring in new blueprints, dimensional blueprints that are like tens of thousands and millions of seeds, of flames, of gems. To help remind you that this is who you are beneath the surface of everything that we just talked about. It's not anything new we ascend to. It's not anything new we bring in. It is who we are at our core, but our core has been layered with conditioning, like different coats that we put on. But they're micro thin. There's so many of them, and some places are thicker than others, and some places are thinner that we can access them more easily. So this loving awareness, it's not about loving yourself as a body, although it starts there, but it's recognizing that this loving awareness is who you are as a body, with your body. Your body is not only a temple, it is a vibrational vehicle. At baby steps. So what's happening now is, again, these seeds of growth, these seeds of evolution. It will continue to spark and grow in that big seed that Angel Jophiel planted in the very beginning, which was kind of like the beating heart moving that made this session so much more potent and powerful and grace-filled. It's like she poked a hole right to our remembrance, our universal love for ourselves, for the world around us, and for our body. It is part of every body, not just human, but every sentient and non-sentient spark of consciousness, because intelligence is within it, everything. That's how magical people operate in the world, which again is our heritage. We look upon it and we see magic and we think of wizards or we think of magicians that are sleight of hand that fool us. No, the magic I'm talking about is that universal essence that runs through everything that we can find again, like a spring, like a long lost spring within ourselves, that we allow to bubble forth gradually as we learn. This is who we are. This is what we are. This is what we do. It's not this image that's been surrounding us our entire life, for lifetimes. Our ancestors lived it too, and that we were at war against consistently, and that this war, this violence, covers over us like cheap clothing, but it's slowly falling apart. We're taking this light from within and allowing it to burn through like a flame, these layers of clothing that say, well, this isn't true. And it's going to make you different for a while, because the outside environment doesn't quite see this view of universality or honor it in a way that it remembers. It's in the process of remembering too. So you're like a lighthouse now. And this lighthouse is starting to learn how to shine. So be gentle with yourself, because you are a beautiful, unique expression of the one that has properties that are exclusive to your individuality, but as a spoke in this greater wheel of life. You're meant to shine. You're meant to do great things, but great things may not be what you think. Great things could just be this process of finding yourself again and learning how to shine amidst darkness, learning how to embrace the darkness as a part of shining. The two aren't mutually exclusive, they are one and the same. Looking at your darkness and saying, well, it's why I know what light is, so it is a part of my evolution to embrace both. And that allows you to look back at the darkness that your human form was a part of creating so much more effectively, because then the shame is gone, the blame is gone, the attachment to whatever story is gone, because the light allows you to point at it and be with it in a way that says, oh, I see you. Yeah, hey, tell me more of that story, because that story isn't who I am anymore. So I need to know more about that. And your body's going to give you aches and pains to point the way and say, oh, here's this part of the story that you've forgotten. And our society is going to reflect back too, with this huge election that has this patriarchal force that is the antithesis of unity and harmony and balance. But he pretends that he is. And he has this mask that is so convincing, so psychologically convincing, that a lot of people want to believe it. And so that's like a mask of makeup slowly breaking down. We can be a part of that breakdown by allowing ourselves transparency, the clarity, the love to be a part of the darkness. That's what loving yourself truly means, is to be able to speak truth to injustice, to not allow this intolerance to infect our human value system, because whoever it's pointing at is you. Why would we allow that? Why would we allow our brothers and sisters to be harmed? Why would we allow the earth to be harmed? Our earth is our relative. We wreck her, we have nothing to stand on anymore. So that's loving yourself, is learning how to be a divine light in a world that's changing. Learning how to be a loving person is learn how to embrace the darkness and allow that light to coexist in a way that seems very duplistic. But from a perspective of wholeness, both coincide as one, as two circles, as the yin-yang symbol. So negative body image stems directly from a disconnect between light and dark. A part of you that wants to believe that the darkness is who you are, and the light part that says, no, I've always known. And so let's bring them together, so that the light shines on the dark and says, well, yeah, you coexist, because we all live in this human karmic world. You can't deny that. It's the denial of it that perpetuates it. So loving yourself means loving yourself exactly as you are. No matter the size, shape of the body, no matter your gender, no matter your skin color, no matter your expression, no matter your clothes, no matter your ability or disability, no matter your face shape, hair, your age. You're beautiful, inside and out. And the angels will feel gifting you that seed to help that grow within you. Bring in love now to amplify, strengthen. Loving seed of awareness. The only thing you need to do with love is open up, receive, and let it do the work. And what that means is love doesn't need to actively advocate, but love does actively advocate. Doing the work of love means just listening and letting love direct. Where you, as this universal principle of love, this embodiment of love, best suits your path, your adventure, your journey as a single thread in the fabric of life. Your thread is beautiful, but there are millions of other threads too. Not just human life, animal, fish, insects, trees, plants, the air molecules, water, soil. They're actually saying virus and bacteria. Yeah, of course they are. That's life too. And the reason we're having a problem with viruses is because the world is out of balance. Viruses are there for a reason. Just like cockroaches and rats. When we have too much garbage, that's when they proliferate, right? But when we're in balance, cockroaches and rats do a very, just like maggots, they do a very valuable service in breaking down the things into organic material for what? Nutrition for the soil to grow other things. Yeah. Mushrooms, fungus, very important. But when they're out of balance, so loving yourself means coming back into balance. Seeing your unique contribution to the whole of life. So putting in structures to maintain this loving expression. And your mission, your challenge, if you so want to accept it, is to take that ember within you that was re-remembered. You could say it was planted, but it wasn't. It was just pointed at because it was covered over and, the cobwebs brushed off of it. And blow on it. How do you do that? Find more joy, find more passion, find more spark, find something that makes you feel alive. And that could mean advocacy, speaking up, pointing out truth, but that could also just mean playing, creating art, singing, dancing. It's not bypassing when you're doing both. But again, anything in the extreme, too much love and light, is a bypass. So ending with a sacred mantra that means, may all people in the world be happy and free, may we be conduits. Asatoma sakamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, yatyoma tramgamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guryo Namaha. Hari Om. Peace, peace, peace. May the peace that surpasses all understanding blossom and grow to loving yourself as a human body and as a universal body. Opening up to gratitude, thanking you for our time together, thanking you for sharing this space of grace, thanking all the guides, masculine and feminine, thanking the deities, thanking the divine mothers, thanking the master healers, bowing my head to it all, allowing me to be a conduit. Taking a deep breath, lifting you up and out of the space of grace. It is done. It is complete. So it is, so it is, so it is. And on just a quick note, if you play this again, this will only grow deeper and bigger. Thank you again. Till next time, be blessed.